I'm angry.
Let's just keep the maybe the anger train rolling. CD Projekt Red has removed a mod from Cyberpunk 2077 that allowed players to have sex with Keanu Reeves' character Johnny Silverhand. The mod itself simply swapped Johnny's model from the intended character, which I believe was a Joy Toy, which is a sex worker within the game. So before we go into like immediate thoughts on that, this comes within the context of there being mods for straight male characters not being able to romance Judy, who's a lesbian one within the game. There's a mod to allow straight male characters to romance her, which I don't recall if we discussed it on this show live, but that's pretty fucking gross, turning a lesbian woman into away from who she is as a character, away from that just to please that demographic is just pretty fucking gross. But what does everyone think about maybe the correlation between that, maybe some of the implications between Johnny specifically being based off a real off a real person, which is Keanu Reeves? Maybe there's some legal issues there as well.
I mean, I'm going to assume it's the contract. I'm going to assume that's part of the contract. That they have to do a good faith effort in order to prevent mods like this from showing up.
I mean, sorry. So no, it's fine. I'm sorry, I kept cutting you off. I brought this up before we started going live, where it's the whole idea of reader insert fanfic and how it's like, if you want to write a reader insert fanfic of a character that doesn't exist, that's cool. Go ahead. Go nuts. I've done it. I read them. I follow people who write them. It's great. But when you do a reader insert fanfic of an actual human being, like an actor and not any of the characters that they play, that shit's weird. You're not getting their consent to do that. So I get where CD Projekt's coming from. It's like, oh, you're having sex with Johnny Silverhand, but you're also having sex with Keanu Reeves, and that's a little bit weird.
The only part I would probably jump into that is with most games nowadays, they are using scans of people's faces. So the only key differentiation would be that Keanu Reeves has a big pool to his name. Like, he's like the face of the game, and if it's in his contract, like, I don't want to be in he doesn't want to be in sex shit, then they're gonna pull that.
Yeah, and it's like I get it. Yes, I was jokingly kind of like, oh well, thanks for ruining. Hold on, give me 1 second. Thanks for ruining our fun, CD Projekt. It's the whole idea of they would take that down incredibly quickly. Apparently it was only up for like a couple of hours, and then the mod creator went, okay, CD Projekt is asking me to take it down. I'm just going to take it down so I don't get in like legal trouble. But they won't take down the mod that turns a gay character straight. I don't understand. Like, it's weird to me. Like, I get contracts and I get that maybe Keanu didn't want people having sex with him, and yes, I'm depressed I can't romance Johnny. I wasn't looking to romance Keanu Reeves, I was looking to romance his character, but I understand it. But at the same time, they'll take that down after a couple hours of it being up and give a legit reason as to why, but then leave the other one up.
I think regardless I was just going to say real quick, regardless of any contracts, which I would assume is the reason behind the rush to get this mod out of the way, CD Projekt should have taken the prerogative to do the exact same fucking thing with the Judy mod.
Yes, they should have. I think it's a greater symptom of a fact that CD Projekt Red is very clear about who they actually give a shit about. They give a shit about the loudest members of their fan base who care about glitches and care about other things. Well, really no, but we had that discussion 2 weeks ago. They care about their bread and butter. They care about, is Keanu Reeves going to fucking sue us? Think back to when David Cage, when it was found out that people broke into the Beyond Two Souls data and scenes. They were able to find out that they actually used a fully nude body scan of Ellen Page that was actually made with the specific, like, that she, I think if I remember correctly, that was done under the assumption that her like genitalia and stuff would not be modeled, and like that, you know, it was just like, you know, cut off where it was cut off. What's up? I'm
sorry. So just a quick elaboration. You mentioned they'd done a full body scan, or did they just kind of slap her face on a different model?
If I remember correctly, it was a body scan. if I'm wrong, then it was that they put her head on an existing model, but I'm pretty sure it was a body scan. I want to say because of the fact. I'm sorry, Mesa, but because of the fact that once this got out, that her model was actually in fact nude down to almost everything, she sued David Cage. Yep. Or not just David Cage. She sued Quantic Dream, but I'm just saying she started. I'm sorry. Oh no. He. I'm sorry. I forgot that he changed his pronouns. Apologies for that. Does he?
Elliot, he, I believe. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't
I'll double check.
You double check for me. I'm going to use he for now, but just correct me and I'll apologize again if I'm wrong.
They. That's what he has on his Twitter.
Awesome. Okay, so he, again, apologies out there, everybody. He said he had either sought legal action against David Cage directly or against Quantic Dream. I don't remember which. I just know that there was a hubbub about it because he never agreed to have that in the game. It was done without his knowledge and without his approval. That circling back means, like, you know, I get that that's why that's a thing with Keanu Reeves. I'm sure it's the same thing. But, like, so CD Projekt Red sees that and they don't want to get in that same trouble that David Cage got in and Quantic Dream got in. But they're totally fine still throwing their LGBTQ fan base to the wind, more or less, with all these other things. And I have nothing else to say about it. Like, literally, when we started talking about CD Projekt Red, I just picked up this book that I've been reading and started reading it because I have nothing else to add except for, like, CD Projekt Red sucks. They throw their LGBT fan base to the wind, and they can instantly handle problems that are genuinely, like, an issue, but then ignore other things as if they're not as important. I
think you've basically perfectly distilled it down to CD Projekt has a fucking double standard going on. They're fucking, in this case, homophobic, just straight up. And fuck, I don't even know what else to say. Like, yes, CD Projekt is just fucked up. There's no two ways around that. Let's see. Did we lose you, Blaine? You still there?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I just had nothing else to say.
Yeah, I don't think we really left much on the table in that regard. I think we cleaned up pretty well. Don't even have to wash the dish. It's just fucking sparkling clean. Did you have any thoughts on it, Mesa?
Not really.
I remember when we did our Cyberpunk discussion with Dio a while back, you had called particular attention to trying to romance River as a
male character, as a male V, and the fact. So it seems like only, and excuse me. Apparently, this also comes. We were talking about this before. If you try to romance Padme. Pan Am.
I thought you were going to say Pac-Man.
I hate sand. I say as I am in the Badlands.
If you try to romance Pan Am as a female, as a female V, it seems that only when you try to initiate a homosexual relationship do you get a rejection. And if you try to initiate a heterosexual relationship with someone who's homosexual, there's just not that option.
Mm-hmm. I can verify the Pan Am because I played as a female V, but the way that it's handled there is like you're kind of like sliding your arm on her leg or whatever, and she just says, "Oh, let's just be friends, whatever." But from what you had described from River's reaction, it was definitely the more nuclear option, right?
You go all in. You put all your chips on the table. I wonder how would you guys feel then about, let's say, like a mod that allowed a male V to romance River?
I think context is different in the sense that when there's mods to make, what's the way I want to word this? For games being dominated by a straight white male demographic, to allow for a mod to allow underrepresented communities to have some semblance of something that reflects their own background, that is significantly different than making Judy straight so that the audience that's already being catered to have more of already what they have. I think there's a significant difference between the two.
Okay.
But yeah. I don't know. I'm not
I just ran away while this question got asked. I know this. I know these mods were really big when like Dragon Age and the Mass Effects came out, because there's the whole idea of like, because Mass Effect Andromeda changed this, where I think almost every character in Andromeda was bi, I think. But in Dragon Age Inquisition, that wasn't the case. I have to agree with what Jose said. For the underrepresented communities, it's great, and I'm here for it. But when it's something like this that makes a gay character straight, that's just not good. It's not great.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like, that's just homosexuality. No, that's just heteronormativity. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. I don't.
Words isn't much good. Many populate. Big word.
Yes. I feel so bad. I had something and now it's just completely gone. Like I had something I was just gonna go deep, and I have one brain cell. It's a tiny shrimp just floating around in circles. I don't remember anything.
I would say Cyberpunk deserves better, but I don't know. I think everyone knows my opinion on the game overall. It's just, to me, it's a pretty mediocre experience all around.
Yeah.
So.
Like when I finished, when I got all the endings, which by the way, we can if you one of the endings probably deserves a trigger warning.
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about. I ended up spoiling how to get some of the endings.
If you want to circle back to that discussion,